sort of turning into a joke, almost a marketing tool. And I was wondering, just growing up in adolescence, was that an issue for you? Did you feel like it was picked on because of your build? Was it something that you were sensitive about at one point in your life?
Yeah, at one point I was a little sensitive about it when I was young, and I was always this big kid, since I was a little kid. My first amateur fight, I was 7 years old, so there was no kids at my weight at that age. So I always had to fight older guys and men because I was always this bigger guy than everybody else. But it took a little bit to get used to it, but it kind of gave me the extra motivation to keep pursuing my dream. It would put me down at times, but I would kind of just block all the negative to the side and just pursue me.
What was your dream?
My dream is to be at this stage where I'm at right now and to make history and become the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world.
And that's what.
Coming at the right time for you. You kind of came out of nowhere. Would you look for first time have a few more fights before you make that Joshua? Obviously you can't turn down this opportunity.
Of course, I think it came at a good time. I just got done fighting Dimitrenko on April 20th, so it wasn't too far. I was already in shape, so after we're done with that camp, we pursued another camp. So I think it all came in place. Just let my hands go, man. Let my hands go, have fun, and do what I do best, and let's get the victory.
Andy, I assume that you often give away height. So, what's the impact to get inside?
I think the movement, the speed. I think with the speed and the movement and the pressure, all that's gonna come together. And he's never fought somebody that pressures him, So I don't know how he fights going backwards, but our job, we just need to stick to the game plan.
Andy,
What do I think Joshua's his movement?
His agility.
He's tall, but he's a good fighter. I really don't have nothing bad to say about him. But with the speed that I have and the movement that I have, whatever he tries to do is gonna make it difficult for him.
do you feel like you need to knock him out to win, given the promotion of all this and all the focus being on AJ?
I do. I feel I do need to get the knockout. Hopefully, we do get the knockout. If not, being busy, letting my hands go, throwing the combinations, and we could win by decision.
Andy, assuming you've been watching film of Joshua, which of his fights do you look at that showed him some vulnerability?
All the guys that he's fought when that are shorter than him, Takam, Carlos, I think he did really good in that fight. Dylan White, but we looked at the Takam fight, but with my speed and the abilities that I have, I think it's gonna be more of an exciting fight than that.
Andrew, you mentioned about growing up and your size and how they've had some people pick on you and say certain things. If you were to win the world title, how would you look back on those moments? It's kind of I told you so moments.
Well, those moments would be awesome, because at one moment I wanted to give up, because at one moment I was listening to those doubters telling me, you know what, you're too big, man. You're too big to be in the big stage. You're too big to become a champion. So if anything, I'm going to be remembering that and yeah, be like, oh, I told you guys, I told you so. But as long as you follow your dreams and work hard, anything is possible.
Did you tell those people that you were going to be here one day?
I have told those people, and those people tell me that I wouldn't, like, oh, we'll see, like, whatever. And this was when I was just a little kid, But my dad always believed in me, man. If it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't be right here at this moment from me being a big troublemaker in high school and when I was a little kid. So he would embarrass me because he would go to my friend's mom's parents' house and be looking for me like, hey, you gotta go train. And but yeah, man, it would mean a lot.
What have you visualized? When you see your shapes moving together, you and Anthony Joshua? Do you see an early knockout? Do you see the fight going a long distance? Do you see yourself getting to him early? What have you visualized?
I visualize when me and AJ are fighting a good fight, something that people didn't think that it was going to be such an exciting fight, and with my hand raised.
Do you knock him out with the left hook in your mind?
I don't really predict the knockout. You know, the knockout comes when it comes, and we're just going to go out there and stick to the game plan.
How do you keep the moment from being too big for you? Madison Square Garden, heavyweight championship. How do you keep it from being too big?
You just stay focused, you know. You stay focused, stay humble, and you got to remember and remind yourself what you're here for, and that's to make history.
Andy, what did you think you were a troublemaker?
Well, I was like a little gangster when I was young, you know. I had my head bald and hanging around with the wrong cliques, you know. But you know, boxing saved my life because it kept making me go back to training. There was something about boxing that made me want to go back, and I think this was that purpose, to be here in this stage.
What did you do that got you into so much trouble?
Well, hanging around with my friends, being in the gangs, you know, and Impe 13, that's what they used to say it in Imperial Valley. But just hanging around with the wrong people, doing the bad things. I don't want to say what things I would do, but yeah, it was good and bad experience.
Did those things get you in trouble with the law at any point?
They have at some point, but like I said, boxing kept me away from getting in major trouble. So
At which point did you kind of go away from boxing?
ever since my dad left me, when my dad took me to Mexico City, and that's when I joined the Mexican Olympic team, I think that's when everything changed and my mind was on a different level. I was like 16 years old.
That's when you first started getting serious about boxing?
That's when I was getting serious, and that's when I was like, man, I could become the first Olympian Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. And but until then, things started being more serious.
Did you know you wanted to be a fighter when you were a kid, when you were younger?
At first I didn't. I was 6 years old, you know. My dad took me to a gym. I got my ass beat up the first weekends that I was there. I didn't want to go back, but my dad kept telling me, you know what, keep going, keep training, or you're going to do something. You're going to beat those kids up that are beating you up. So I kept doing it, and what do you know, a few months later, I ended up beating them up.
So you were 6 years old when you were going to the gym?
6 years old when I first went to a gym to start training. I trained one whole year, and I was 7 years old, and that's when I turned amateur at 7 years old. Probably what you weigh.
Andy, we know now for 2 years Anthony Joshua's trying to have this big fight with Deontay Wilder, and we know now that Wilder's having a different fight next. Do you think that psychologically that could play into your hands and might be a bit flat disappointed?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think right now he's looking past me. I think he should be focused on this fight first. But you know, anything could happen in this boxing game, you know, and it only takes one punch to change the fight, and I'm here to do that.